these are the kind of things I be putting in front of my my doorstep. I got some chalk right here. Let's take a look. Boom. Got some chalk right there. And I put stuff like this. I love life and I am blessed every day. Part of the manifestation, part of understanding that whatever we put in our minds is whatever we're going to receive. So if this is like a little reminder, when I come outside my door, I love life and I'm blessed every day. When you say I am blessed, I am this, I am that, that's what you're telling yourself who you are. That's who you'll become. So it took us a long time to get into the last chapter, I think. This is the next day. I'm going to the doctor's appointment, not for me, for Sierra. Anyway, the next two chapters are men are like rubber bands and women are like waves. And this is explaining to us the cycle of intimacy that men have and the cycle of intimacy that women have. So for this series, which is understanding women, there's not too much we need to know from men are like rubber bands, but it is important to know some things about you because you might not be realizing that you're doing certain things in your intimacy cycle that is affecting your relationship. So we're gonna talk about how the men get closer and then they pull away. They get closer and they pull away. And sometimes the relationship with the woman can be stopping that. So we're gonna find out. Hello, we're back. It's another okay, let's get back into the video, right? So I don't know where we left off before, but like I said, we're talking about chapter 6 and 7. Men are like rubber bands, and we're gonna talk about the intimacy side. Let's go in the backyard, bro. It's windy. It's windy. I got this like stick now, so I'll make sure there's no nails here. Let's get into some of the most important aspects of men are like rubber bands and women are like waves, but we're mostly going to talk on the rubber bands part. So like I said, as the males, we get closer. As we get closer, we have the tendency to also pull back, pull away. And sometimes people see that their parents, the way their mother and father are, or whoever your role models would have been, is that whenever the man tries to pull away, whenever he tries to get time for himself, or he wants to, it could be anything. It could be watching TV, it could be watching sports, it could be playing games, it could be whatever it is that gets you in whatever you need, like your own time. He'll notice as a kid, he might see in the role models that anytime the man tries to do that, the mother punishes him or tries to get him to come back in. She tries to get him to talk about his feelings, tries to get him to talk, tries to get him to do things that you may consider to be intimate. So, and that prevents the man from pulling away, and then he comes back. And that's usually from a lack of trust that he will come back. This is how the woman usually feels, that the man is not gonna come back. And that's one of their deepest fears, is that they're unworthy of love and that they're not gonna be able to receive this love. So that's something we need to keep in mind as men about women. So how do we use this? Before we get into that, let me talk about, I have the notes right here. These notes are also going to be on my Patreon. You can go ahead and join as a free member and you'll have all the access to all the notes. It's a summary of this whole chapter. So there's two ways that women end up chasing you in a relationship if you're a man watching this, right? One is chasing him when he pulls away, and then punishing him, like I said, for when he does pull away. So they either do this physically, emotionally, or mentally. So physically, they might try to follow him, they won't leave him alone, or they'll always try to be next to him. Emotionally, right, she ends up worrying about the man. She tries to help him feel better. She smothers him with praise, or she does like a disapproving look, or a neat, like a longing look, like a puppy face or whatever, like, trying to get him to like come back, like she needs him, you know what I'm saying? So emotionally, she's not letting him go and come get his own time. Or mentally, she does like guilt-inducing questions, like, oh, how can you do this to me? How can you make me feel this way, or whatnot? Like trying to question him in a way that gets him to come back, right? Or she might even try too hard to please him, trying like doing extra things to please you just to stay near you, right? So pay attention to some of these things that might happen in your relationship with women, right? That's usually when you're about to pull away or going to pull away, when you need time for yourself. And like I said, this is gonna hit her deepest fear, which is that he won't come back. Now we're gonna talk about some of the punishing behaviors. So let's say you already did pull away and now you're trying to come back. This could be even, you'll notice this happening in talking phases, You'll talk to a girl for a while maybe, I'm sure you guys are talking to girls, right? Either texting or in person, and then you kind of need your own time to figure out, like, do I really like this girl, or do I want to stay with her, or what else do I want to do, or what am I doing in life? It could be anything that's been going on, right? You need your own time. And when you try to come back, she's not on the same level as you. That's because when men, we're gonna continue this, but when men stretch away like a rubber band, they're gonna come back just as they left. It's not like you don't need time to warm back up again. Women are not on that same kind of that level. So when you pull away from them for some time, it could be days, a week, whatnot, they need to like warm back up to you again. So don't expect her to be on the same type of level. But let's talk about some of the punishing behaviors that some women might do to you, right? So there's physical, emotional, mental. So physical is like rejecting physical affection. Let's say you try to hug her or kiss her or hold her hand. She's rejecting your physical affection. They could be withholding, intercourse, sexual intimacy. They might be withholding some of that, or pushing him away or becoming aggressive. And it says here, this can create fear, which prevents him from pulling away in the future and blocking his desire for intimacy. So you might notice with these punishing behaviors, next time you're not going to want to pull away because she's going to punish you for it. But this is your natural need. This is your right. So don't be upset when this happens. Now we know that it's happening. We have an understanding. We can go ahead and move forward in the relationship and have a better relationship because we simply know this. We can even talk about this with our partners about this. The next step here is emotional punishment, right? Expressing unhappiness and blame when he returns, withholding forgiveness and making him feel incapable of pleasing her, using disapproving words, tone, and body language, and this can make him feel unworthy and give up on trying to fulfill her needs. That's the emotional punishment. And let's move on to the final one, mental punishment. Refusing to open up and share feelings, becoming cold and resentful, withholding trust, and not giving him a chance to listen and make amends. This can make him feel unworthy of love and afraid to reach out for it, preventing him from coming back to his partner. So those are the three ways, and so let's summarize this section. Women don't like when you leave them alone, but you have the right to do that. And later we're gonna figure out how we can be left alone and then have our own alone time in a way that also works out for her. But women, when you go away, it hits her in the deepest fears that you might not come back, even though you know you'll come back. That hits her in the deepest fears, and then she might try to prevent you from pulling away, or if you do come back, she might try to punish you for that. Now, this does not mean it's going to happen. This doesn't mean every single woman is like this. This doesn't mean that at all. Oh, this is too bright. Way too bright. This does not mean it's going to happen for sure. I'm just letting you know what could be happening in case you start to see this in your relationship. So let's move on to the next section of the book. It says how, and I kind of explained this in the beginning, how the past can be affecting you, which was your role models. So let's move on with that. So there's two kind of males that you might possibly be. It says here from the book, by the way, all from the book. The sensitive male and the macho male. There's a little summary. The sensitive male is afraid to pull away due to childhood experiences of witnessing disapproval and emotional distancing. They unconsciously create arguments to justify pulling away, and they develop more of the feminine side, suppressing some of the masculine power, and they feel guilty for pulling away, leading to a loss of desire, power, and passion. They become passive or overly dependent. The macho male, on the other hand, has no problem pulling away, but struggles to get close and open up. They're afraid of being unworthy of love and being close and caring. And they lack a positive picture of being welcomed in intimacy. So those are the two types of males he describes in the book, which you might be based on the roles that you have witnessed in your parents or whoever your role models may be in the relationship. So now this is the final step, the last section of this book, and that's gonna wrap it up for this video. No crazy vlog today. If you want to see more vlogs, let me know in the comments below, and subscribe to me on Patreon. I might start putting all my vlogs on the Patreon for free members and paid members as well. So what can we do as men? When you feel the urge to pull away, try to reassure your partner that you're not rejecting them and that you love them and that you'll come back, but you just need some personal space. And it's not like a break or anything. It's just, you just need some personal space for yourself to fill your love back up, or however you want to say it. You can say something like, I need some time for myself right now, but I'll be back and we can spend some quality time together. This reminds me, you can also set up a plan for a date for when you do come back. Say, let's say you notice you're getting too close or whatever. It's not saying you're getting too close, but you notice you might need to pull away, do some of your own stuff, play video games, go out with the boys, go fishing, whatever it is you're doing. Let your woman know, or the person who you care about know in the relationship. Let them know that you're gonna need some personal time, but when you get back, you have something planned for them. Make a plan, so that way she knows, okay, we're gonna come back because we have this date this date set up where when he comes back, we're going to go to a movie or go on a park, or we can get a picnic, get some food, whatever, Chipotle, this is my favorite place. Anything like that, that's a good way to set it up as well. So make an effort to initiate conversations with your partner when you're not feeling the need to pull away and like ask about her. This is basically from the previous sections of the book. I was just saying women like to talk about her feelings. So make sure to have her open up, understand, do some mirroring whenever she's talking, so that way she can open up. What women really want is a man that they can open up with. You don't necessarily have to open up. You should eventually. I mean, you have to, be in touch with the masculine and the feminine side of your personality. Everyone has the two sides in their personality. But the woman mostly wants someone who they can open up and feel comfortable and safe with. And if you're that guy, you're that guy. So to finish up this section, we've been going on for 10 minutes here. Wow. So to finish up this section, women are based on intimacy, right? And I'm gonna read a quote directly from the book, which is a quote of, I guess, one of the women that he's worked with to help in the relationship. She said, I have spent 20 years trying to get Larry to talk. I want him to open up and be vulnerable. I didn't realize that what I was missing was a man who would support me in being open and vulnerable. And that is what I really needed. I have shared more intimate feelings with my husband this week than in 20 years. I feel so loved. This is what I have been missing. I thought he had to change, and now I know there's nothing wrong with him or me. We just didn't know how to support each other. That will be the summary for this video. Go ahead and join into my Patreon. It's in the link below. It's free. You can even download the app. You'll get notifications and you'll get access to all my notes and stuff. And the next chapter is women are like waves. Then now we're gonna understand more about the woman, because this section of the video is more about understanding ourselves and understand some of the consequences to the woman, but it's more about understanding ourselves. Next chapter, we're gonna be understanding the woman and her intimacy cycle, which are women are like waves. So you can imagine what that looks like. See you.